Nicole thought she was just looking up a definition. Instead, she uncovered the most divisive debate in modern education. Sitting in her small, cluttered office, surrounded by books and research papers, the late afternoon sun filtered through the blinds, casting striped shadows across her desk. A half-empty cup of hot cocoa sat beside her laptop, long forgotten. She leaned back in her chair, staring at the screen. The word equitable had popped up again in her recent reading on personalized learning, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was missing something important. Equitable, she muttered to herself. What did it really mean? With a sigh, she pulled up a new tab and began typing. Her fingers danced over the keys as she searched for definitions and discussions surrounding the term. The results flooded in. A whirlwind of articles, studies, and opinion pieces filled the screen. Nicole's brow furrowed as she scanned the various interpretations. Some sources emphasized fairness and justice, while others hinted at systemic inequalities that needed addressing. Wasn't equality about treating everyone the same? Yet here was this word with layers upon layers of meaning that seemed to complicate what should have been straightforward. She clicked on a link that led to a discussion forum where educators debated fiercely about equitable practices in classrooms. Voices clashed like cymbals. Some argued that equity required providing additional resources to students based on their needs. Special accommodations for those who struggled, advanced materials for gifted learners. Others insisted that focusing too much on equity could undermine individual merit. Nicole leaned closer to the screen as she read a particularly passionate post. If we only cater to those who need extra help, aren't we holding back high achievers? Shouldn't education challenge all students equally? A notification pinged in her email inbox, an invitation to a webinar on equitable education practices from a leading educational think tank. She noted it down but continued scrolling through the forum threads. Another educator raised concerns about equity being misinterpreted as sameness. Equal treatment doesn't mean equitable treatment. Her mind raced with thoughts about how these discussions might affect future educational policies. If educators were divided on such fundamental definitions, how could they ever agree on practical implementations? Nicole paused, contemplating how this confusion echoed broader societal debates around equity versus equality. She recalled reading about systemic barriers that prevented marginalized students from accessing quality education, a painful reality woven into America's educational fabric. Suddenly, an idea struck her like lightning. Perhaps this ambiguity was part of what made equitable such a powerful term in modern discourse, its ability to adapt and provoke discussion across contexts. With renewed energy, she grabbed her notebook and jotted down notes as key points swirled through her mind. Fairness versus equal treatment. While some equated equity with fairness by offering tailored resources for different needs, others feared it could compromise overall standards, access versus outcomes. Debates revolved around whether equitable education aimed at providing equal access to opportunities or equal outcomes. Did every student need to end up in the same place academically? Political tensions. Nicole noted instances where policies aimed at achieving equity faced backlash. Critics often accused proponents of reverse discrimination or diluting meritocracy. She scribbled down examples from current events. A political figure's speech against affirmative action sparked protests. School districts re-evaluating funding models faced community pushback when they attempted redistributing resources more equitably among schools serving low-income neighborhoods. The clock ticked steadily toward evening as Nicole continued writing fervently, weaving connections between her findings and personal anecdotes from teachers' experiences she'd encountered during her research trips. After an hour of reflection and note-taking, she leaned back once more in her chair, feeling both exhilarated and exhausted. There was so much complexity surrounding equitable education. It wasn't just about resources or policies, but rather an evolving understanding of justice within society itself. As dusk settled outside her window, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, Nicole felt invigorated by this new layer of knowledge. The quest for understanding what equitable truly meant had opened up more questions than answers. But it was precisely these questions that ignited her passion for shaping a better future in education. In that moment of clarity amidst uncertainty, Nicole realized one thing for certain. She would delve deeper into this ongoing conversation around equitable education. It was far from over. Just like Nicole, we're all still learning and discovering new perspectives on complex topics like this. If this deep dive into equitable education opened your eyes to something new, hit that like button to let me know. And if you want to join me for more research journeys into the issues that matter in education, make sure to subscribe. There's always more to uncover.